to my channel. Good morning, vlogsters. We have a friend's mug today. This was a birthday gift. Thank you so much. My coffee is cold because it's been sitting here for a few hours. I will tell you the truth. Well, I always tell you the truth, but to tell you the truth, Jim has been putting together our shed. So we got a shed. It was a gift. Not gonna cry. Hold it. Okay. It was a gift from a beautiful friend. Jim is putting it together on the carport, so at least he's not in the sun, but it is hot. The carport also sometimes prevents the breeze. Sometimes it accentuates a breeze, but sometimes it prevents a breeze. So he went out there very early this morning. I told you he got a job. His hours will be 6 a.m. till 2:50 in the afternoon every day. So he's been adjusting his schedule, getting up. We've been getting up earlier every morning. So this morning he got up at 7. Excuse me, today's Friday. He got up at 7 and he went out to work about 8:30, he said. So he got up, had his coffee, had a couple of cereal bars, and did his morning thing, and then went out and started to work on the shed. He got one wall put up. So the floor he put down yesterday and basically organized the pieces. And this morning he started to assemble the things that you have to pre-assemble before you install them. And then he was able to get up one wall, which I was pretty excited about. Truth is, I am excited for him. I mean, yes.
Got my phone, and if I got a pair of socks, my feet are getting a little chilled.
Oh, okay. He came in to get his socks because his feet are a little chilly. I'm not chilly. Actually, could you turn the fan on and just lower it because it's just too much? Actually, you know what? You're wrong. I'm wrong. Let's put the purifier on low.
Put the Dyson on.
The Dyson makes a lot of noise. The clicking isn't as bad as the fizz, but I'll lower it so maybe it won't be so fizz. You know what I'm saying? Hey, do I have my earbuds? Are my earbuds laying there?
Yeah.
That's what I'm missing for this vlog. That's what I'm missing. Don't you tickle my feet.
Want it?
Please.
Want these?
Please. Aw. Thank you. Please don't tickle my feet. I've asked you nicely, please. When he tickles my feet, it makes me have to go potty. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. And don't be a smart person in the comments and go, Jerry, why? It just has always been that way. So I'm like, I'm comfortable. I settled. I just relaxed. I just went to the bathroom, but I also drank medicine, like water with medicine or whatever. So hi. Good morning. So he's been doing that, and I was trying to say that I am really excited for him to start this new job. I'm not as excited for me, but that's to be honest with you, and I'm sure a lot of people will imagine that that was the case, but unfortunately, there is this like, okay, so we do have this thing where you put something out in the universe and it can manifest. Or if you want to look at it like this is a challenge the person has that's a repeated challenge and it might come up again kind of thing. I'm not really sure, but of course my craft room is still. The work that you saw the other day was the only work done on it. And I actually asked Jimmy, he's like, can I just ask you a question? I was like, okay, why? He goes, why do I need to do it now if you're like, and he does like this. And I was like, you're right, Jim, fine. It's whatever it is. Do what you got to do. And he's like, it's a lot of work. And I was like, I understand, but it's not, it's manageable bites. I'm not asking you to do it all by yourself. I'm asking you to just get it started. You know, I would like to be able to like be better and just get into the new room. You know, I don't want to say Jim's not one of these husbands who just like will surprise you with a makeover. But, he's apprehensive about stuff like that. So he is putting together his shed, which I will tell you is beneficial to my family, but it's really benefiting him because now he can get all the stuff out of his office. But hey, whatever it is, it is. I'm grateful. So, excuse me. I hadn't had coffee yet. This first sip I had with you guys, but I did eat breakfast. I found these low carb corn tortillas, and they are delicious. I just have to figure out how to prepare them because there is no heating instructions or cooking instructions or whatever. And they kind of like fell apart again. He preheated them this time with a wet paper towel, he said, but they fell apart again. So we'll see. Maybe they are better just like fried. Maybe they're better to make it into chips or to make into like hard taco shells or something. So I'll look. I'll give it a shot. I said there are recipes on the website. There just wasn't like instructions. And he's like, no. I'm like, all right. It is what it is. First, I wanted to tell you something that's just thought about a few minutes ago is that I was going to apologize for my attire in bed. I don't want to be inappropriate. However, I can't put on more clothes. It's difficult to sit up and to like get dressed is like, yeah. It's not a lot of fun. Anyhow, but if you have an ample bosom, even if you had a bra on, this is what it would look like with the bra on, because they just come out anyway. They do their own thing. Well, for me anyway, mine do. So I apologize if it offends anybody ahead of time. I'm sorry. I just want to be able to share with you. And this is, I had a friend come over the other day and this is how I looked. I was just in my pajamas because what are you going to do? Anyhow, so today, Jim and I discussed doing the possible night before setup tonight just to test it for tomorrow, see if there's anything we forgot. Anything we can prepare first thing in the morning, like if he makes me a cup of coffee and puts it in that like Yeti type of cup that he has that keeps it hot all day, that might be very beneficial for me. Filling up my water. He gives me that 32-ounce cup of water at night, but I pretty much drink that all night with taking the medicine and taking the morning meds, and it's empty by the morning. Excuse me. So possibly like making me that coffee and filling me up this water before he goes. Mom could do that for me. It's a pretty heavy cup. But I am trying to keep what I need from her to a minimum, just because she's not in super great shape either. And I don't want her to get overwhelmed with what she has to do. But talking about it with him, I think he thinks that might be something that's doable. He's going to make himself tea in the morning anyway. So he'll be running the Keurig. So making my coffee won't be that much extra. And getting my water won't be that much extra. So we'll see. I do need the coffee. Excuse me. It isn't so much for the caffeine as... I don't know if the caffeine is what creates the stimulant, but it helps me go potty at a certain age. Which is something that not eating full meals and laying down all the time causes issues with. We also talked about getting a different basket. So currently I have pretty much everything that I need. I'll show you, hold, in this sort of Dollar Tree basket, right? It's not very easy to transport myself, like to move from over there to over here. It's not super difficult, but it is kind of heavy, and it does, because it's so heavy, it's like flexes the basket, and I'm just like, one of these days that thing's gonna snap. So we talked about baskets. I have, you know me, I'm the queen of baskets. So I was like, I think I have the perfect thing that would fit better, and it would also hold the tissues and the water bottle, which I think is kind of important. So I don't have to, like, moving that over here is like you'd have to sit up and move it. But moving like 4 things is, you know, I don't have that much sit up time. But truth is, Monday is my appointment to get my MRI. What kind of results and how fast and how quickly we'll be able to start treatment or a plan, a medical plan, like how soon will that happen? I don't know any of that stuff. I really don't. That's what we'll have to wait and see. And then from there, we can go on. Now, he only works to 2:50 every day, and the clinic is open till 5 or 6. So I do have afternoon appointments I can get. So I still can do whatever I need during the week. If, like, the doctor wants to see me right away, you know, she'll just have to squeeze me in at night or whatever, because I don't know how else I'll get there. But that being said, I wanted to share this morning that I was able to be a blessing unto someone from my bed, which to me, I will tell you the truth. Yes, I love that you guys reach out to me and I'm a blessing to you. That's not what I mean, and I so appreciate that, and I'm so grateful that I can be here for you 100%. What I actually said to her was, I feel like I can't do anything for anyone except lay here and pray. And I know prayer is important, especially with everything going on in the world and with everything going on with my family and friends. Prayer is super important. But when you're a caretaker, and you're a caregiver, and you can't take care of anybody, we've talked about that mental block about actually accepting help. You know, that accepting help thing was a switch that I triggered a few years back when I started to get, like, my mobility started to really decline. Like, my arthritis started to get really bad. So that was a trigger that I had to, like, slowly switch, that, you know, I'm going to need more help. However, it's almost an instant switch when you know you can't do anything for yourself. You have to ask for help. I hate it so much. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I don't want to cry. It's so frustrating to have to, like, rely on somebody for everything. Sorry. But to be able to do something for somebody other than myself while I'm laying here, it just felt so good. I'm so grateful that I was able to do it. That being said, that being said, I am I'm feeling really blessed today. I'm feeling very loved today, which does make me also emotional. Jim came and put my medicine on this morning. He's like, I'm here, I might as well do it. I was like, okay, thank you, because I told you I really only need him to put it on at night because of my flexibility in the morning is much greater than it is in the evening. He's like, well, I'm home, I might as well do it. I was like, oh, thank you. So after he put it on and he pulled down my nightgown, I put my nightgown on to kind of contain the medicine. He started to rub it. And I know it sounds so silly, but I just felt so cared for. And he said, "Don't cry." And I was like, "Well, no, thank you for doing that without being asked, because I really needed it. It felt really good." I just want to be out of this bed. I just want to be out of this bed. I want to cook. I want to clean. I want to look out my window and see my birds and my bunnies and my frogs and everything else that comes to visit me, my deer, and even the random possum, gopher, groundhog, fox, armadillo that comes into my yard. I would take any random creature at this point. If I open these curtains, I open this one, besides the fact that it's super hot out right now. If I open this one, I basically can just look at the eave and a tiny bit of blue sky, but I can't really see anything. If I open that one, I look at the underside of a tree. So, not the best views. Not the best views from my bed, but I get it. I really didn't want to spend this day crying because I was saying how blessed and lucky and loved I feel, but I guess that's a good cry. I was able to, like I said, I was able to be a blessing onto someone, which made me feel really good. I felt like God had put me in this person's path and vice versa for a reason. Just like many of you, I feel like I have been put in front of so many people's lives to help them with whatever they're going through. As grateful as I am that people have been put in my life for the same reason. I am really looking forward to what's next. I was really looking forward to autumn crafting in the new office, the new craft room. But I guess I feel like God has his own plans. Like he's got his other. I don't know. I just feel like he has his own agenda. And obviously, what's the expression? We make plans and God laughs, or always in God's time. I guess that's the same way of saying it. One is probably just a little bit more like humorous or whatever, but it's the truth. I mean, we can plan all we want, and he'll have other ideas, other plans for it. So I'm kind of like, I was feeling like really bad about like why I didn't go to the doctor. I think I vlogged about that yesterday. But then I started to realize that like we have gotten so much done with me in like a walker. Like, how would we have gotten any of that done if I was not able to like move? I know that sounds dumb because I could have just been doing more harm to my body. So I'm not trying to justify it, but I kind of feel like that's the silver lining almost. Because now I'm down and like Jim's not doing any of that stuff anymore. He doesn't feel comfortable doing it without me, or I don't know, something along those lines. He's, only wanted to do so much without me. So I'm kind of grateful that we did get all the things done that we did. I know that had I been 100%, we would have been done with all the projects in that amount of time, but I'm grateful we were able to do all that we did, and that I was able to participate in them. So, yeah, I kind of like, you don't want to live in regret. You don't want to live with guilt. You don't want to live with shame, but you do want to learn from like your past. So it's kind of important to like have humility, obviously, humble yourself before God and realize that it's in his hands. A comment from me. Was he coming in the neighborhood? Oh, he's in the neighborhood. Jim? That was weird. Sorry, guys. Jim, are you okay? Whew, that was stressful. He's fine. He was in his office working. He didn't hear his phone ring. It's the people across the street, but like far. I just thought it like they stopped the sirens right in front of our house. But I hope everything's okay. So, I had to stop and say a prayer before I put the phone back on. Anyway, I was joking that they were coming for me, and they really came to the neighborhood, right? Okay. Focus. I digress. I digreg. Focus. Okay. Okay. You guys. Okay. Sorry. I am trying to focus. I am trying to focus on what I was talking about before the sirens went off. I was talking about how grateful I was. I was talking about how blessed I feel. I was talking about I just want to get out of this bed. I just want to be better. I just want my life to go on now. And then I have such a huge sympathies and understanding for those of you who are chronically bedridden. I am so sorry. I can't. This has been a lot easier on me than it would have been on somebody like Jimmy. I'll be honest with you. Because I've been building up to having mobility issues and energy issues, that I've been spending more and more time in bed. But this is even an extreme that I don't think I can bear very much longer. It will be a full 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Yeah, it'll be a full 4 weeks on Sunday, which today's Friday. Wow. That can't be right. Oh my gosh. 21, 28, 27, 26, 25. So the 25th of July. Oh, I should remember that's my nephew's birthday. The 25th of July, and Sunday will be the 22nd of August. So that's 4 weeks. I am super grateful for so much. I really am. I'm so grateful that I've had a partner who's able to be here for me. And though it has been super stressful for him, that we have worked out our thoughts, processes, plans, hearts, brains, stresses, whatever it is, we've worked it out. We've created a system, a plan. We've created a bond unlike we've had in our marriage. We've just talked about so much stuff. I'm so grateful that I have a beautiful friend who gifted me a bariatric commode that has been a game changer. The commode that I got originally, which I looked up bariatric commodes, it did hold my weight, and the width was bigger than the first one that I got. But when I sat in it, it put so much pressure on my hip that it radiated down to my knee. It was no good. It really was no good. I couldn't go to the bathroom comfortably, and I couldn't sit on there very long. Now, I can't sit very long to begin with, but with the pressure on my hip, I could sit even less. So I wasn't able to have full evacuations in one sitting. Not to be graphic, but hey, I don't mean to be graphic to be gross you out or anything, but literally people go through this. And it's why I share. If you're a person who has possibly been bedridden and you've had the same commode for a long time and you've started to gain weight, say, and you're starting to have this problem where you had to get a new commode and it's smaller and you have this problem, don't think that you're stuck with the problem. That's what I'm trying to say. So some people might be going through the same thing. there are so many people out there. Like, I wanted to do a whole plus size channel because I have literally been fat my entire life. Toddlerhood, childhood, adult, like the whole time. And I know all the ins and outs and secrets and things, like, you know, that people who are younger and coming up and people who are newly plus sized. So a lot of people have gained weight after menopause, people have gained weight after having children, people have gained weight after hitting certain ages, after injuries, all these things that when you aren't used to a plus size body, you have these issues. Like, it happened to my brothers and sisters, not my little brother so much, but my older brother and my sisters. As they gained weight, they were like, oh, I have this thing. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a yeast infection. That's normal. Just get this cream. This cream works. Keep it dry. Keep it wet. Powder works really well. Like, I don't realize how much information that I have from being plus size my whole life. And I know all plus size people are different. Like, my mom was, we used to joke, she was like, you remember when you used to grow a potato by putting toothpicks in it and floating it in water? That's what my mom used to look like, a potato with toothpicks. Her arms and legs were so thin compared to her. Like, she was all shoulders, chest, and belly. She had, like, no booty. None of us got that. Not one person in my family got thin legs. My mother was, like, did not pass that gene on to everybody. We all got my dad's super chunky thighs, or my grandma Julie's, or Grandma Mary really is what it is, super thighs. Anyway, it's crazy. So like chub rub, do you guys know what chub rub is? If you're a plus size person, you know, it's when your thighs rub together. And when I was in high school was like the worst because like puberty, and I always wore sweatpants. So every day I would have to sew the inside of my sweatpants because they would create holes and frictions and just wear out. And like every night it wasn't every night. Every time I washed them, I would have to sew them again. And of course, that just makes them smaller. But while they were holed, like, you know, by third period, maybe the hole was creating again, I would get like these boils on the inside of my legs from like the friction and all of this like stuff that you just don't even realize, these rashes. And you're like, what is this? And you have a heat rash. You have like clean yourself and make sure you keep it dry and keep it, you know, powder works here. Powder doesn't really work there. It's not good to use powder there. It's like whatever tricks and tips that I have, it's sort of like that. And I wanted to do that for a whole channel, but that's what I wanted to do now. That's why I do share stuff that a lot of people think is too much information. The reason is because if I can help one person say, oh my God, I never thought about that. Let me talk to my doctor. Or, hey, I never thought about that. Let me look into getting something different. That's why I do this. I've always done all of my videos just to teach people things that they may not know. Whether it's just going to the Dollar Tree and showing them what you got at the Dollar Tree, or taking those items and creating something crafting new, or looking on Pinterest. Like, how many times have I done Pinterest dupes or Pinterest inspired videos? Because a lot of people just don't know about Pinterest. They're crafty and they love to cook and they have no idea about Pinterest and how easy it is to use and what a format, like what anything like that. You know, this is what I want to do. I always said I wanted to be a teacher or a nurse when I was growing up. And then I ended up working at AHRC, which kind of fulfilled a little bit of both. We really had a lot of like medical care we had to give the individuals. We worked under a nurse's license. And of course, teaching was like the primary way we made money. We taught the individuals how to do life skills or behavior modification, whatever their plan was, that's what we taught them. So by working at HRC, I was fulfilled both my goals, you know. And when I was growing up, I said I wanted to be like in high school. You have that, what do you want to be when you grow up? Go to college conversation with your class advisor or whatever. And you're like, oh, I want to be a wife and a mother. Well, AHRC also helped me be a wife. Because it was at work that I met my husband. So, I mean, I met him online, but I didn't have a computer at home. So I worked overnight at work one time. And when you work overnights, you can either sleep or just do whatever. So I was just up playing on the computer, and that's when I met Jim. And that's where I met Jim. So I won't ever forget it. Saturday, July 2nd, 1999. Walked into a chat room and changed my life forever. Anyhow, I digress. Actually, July 3rd. Did I say Saturday, July 2nd? Saturday, July 3rd. I don't know why I said July 2nd. 4th of July is on the 4th of July. But it was the day before the 4th of July, so. And I didn't have a computer at home, and I was off on the 4th, but I worked all day on the 5th because the individuals were off, off from work because a lot of people were observing the 4th on Monday. So we basically had them all day. And I worked in a group home where the individuals had very little needs for me. Like, they were very extremely capable women who mostly travel trained, mostly traveled to work via bus and worked in a workshop and had all self-care skills and needs done. Many of them were learning stuff like cooking and correspondence and social skills. So it was, stuff we could work on. But I had a lot of free time that day. Let's just put it that way. Plus, a lot of the individuals were home because a lot of them go home for 3-day weekends and stuff. So, anywho, I digress. So working at AHRC fulfilled all those things, but that's why I want to do this here, because when work outside of my home was not working, I couldn't find a job that would pay me and I wouldn't have to lose money on. That's really what it was about. All the jobs that I had were actually a financial drain on me, at least at the very beginning, and maybe they would have worked out in the end, but I couldn't afford to have them be a financial drain on me. Like, I didn't have money just sitting there to invest. I was able to start this on $20 a week. That's way less than the other jobs were requiring. I feel like I have to roll over. It's about that time. Okay, I'm going to pause you guys and finish the story. Remind me to talk about starting YouTube. What are we talking about? You were supposed to remind me to talk about something. Remember when I come back to talk about... I had to have Jim put the clicky fan on. Sorry, it's clicky. But it was really getting hot in here. And that's probably what was making me uncomfortable too. Oh, goodness. What were we supposed to talk about? Oh, YouTube. So, when I started with YouTube, I picked it out of all of the social media mediums or the things I could have been doing because I like to teach. So I like to craft, I like to teach, I like bargains, I like to share. So I was, it was the perfect platform for me. I kind of kicked myself because if I would have started it a couple of years earlier, I would have been a little bit more vested in it, and I would be at a different place. Like things would have differently in my house, but it is what it is. Like we said, all in God's time, all in God's plan. I am so grateful that I was able to do. Oh, the straw! I was like, what is that pink thing? I am so grateful that I was able to do it. I'm so grateful that you guys have wanted to see me every day and spend time just talking and getting to know each other, or getting to know me, and then getting to know you in the comments. I really do appreciate every single one of you. Get 1,000, 1.5 thousand people who watch my vlog videos on a regular basis, and I'm so grateful for every last one of you. And if I could call you out by name, I would 100% do that right now. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Just thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know how else to say it. But I'm going to rest. When I adjust, I often have the most discomfort when I first adjust. Obviously, because I'm adjusting because of the discomfort that I already existed, but then coming to a new position, my body's like, well, what is this happening here? And what's that? And why is this pushing here? And that kind of thing. So, it's actually, Alexa, what time is it?
It's 1:04 p.m.
Yeah, it's 1:04 p.m. and I take my pain medicine at 2. So you can kind of tell when that golden hour is starting. I know I can take my medicine early, but the thing is if I take my medicine early, then I'm kind of like always pushing it. You know, you have that hour window, but that means that your 8-hour medication is taken every 7 hours, and eventually you're pushing it. So you can't really push the 10 o'clock dose to 7 o'clock. And that's what would end up happening if you did that. But anyhow, I digress. I really do just want to thank everybody for joining me and all of your love and support. And your prayers are felt. I want to tell you that your prayers, I know along with my faith and my hope for the future, is what's getting me through. I think that if I didn't have you, life would be very meh, you know? So I am very grateful for each and every one of you, and thank you all for joining me. And as always, you guys take care, God bless, and we'll see you next time.